If you are Todd Ellsworth, or a relative, heir, or descendant of Todd Ellsworth, please immediately contact the bank to reclaim over $5,000 belonging to Todd Ellsworth. This is the message contained within the song Get Straight by the band KFC Murder Chicks. On November 25th, 2015, at 00:26:23, an anon posted to the 4chan Paranormal board. The poster claims to be a 20-year-old with work experience in retail. They go on to tell the story of someone they know, the first story of Erratas ever posted online. Erratas. It sounds strange with a British accent. She's a super interesting chick. During this period, she was homeless and in a band. Her temp agency gave her a job at this place that was closing down all their locations in the country, and basically it was well known that they were shady and generally treated their employees like cattle. They worked for like $10 an hour. Everything was really disorganised by this point, and different departments were scattered everywhere, and they were just getting everyone to do whatever work they could give them before they'd fire them. They had a programming department that made payroll programs for other companies or something along those lines, but by the time she got there it was just literally one dude, and they were giving him random jobs to do like working assembly lines and running forklifts. They put her and this dude in a room, gave them a couple of tape guns and had them pack stuff in boxes. Most stuff there had the names of their respective departments written on them in Sharpie, but hers said Erratas on it. The dude told her to get rid of the tape gun and not to mention it to any supervisors, since apparently one of his jobs years before had been writing code to flag any employee that searched for it in their computer system. Not any old word, just that one, and they'd fire you if you got flagged. Another thing was that she said the atmosphere at the place was hellishly unhappy in a really unreal way. It sounds stupid, but I want to emphasise, she's not a lazy person or the type to complain about jobs, so hearing her go into all this detail about the miserable atmosphere seriously creeped me out. Not just like a normal job where it's unfun, but everyone always seemed thoroughly miserable. Some people would be on the verge of crying sometimes for no real reason. No work being done there seemed to actually make any impact or have anything to do with anything else. Everyone was just doing what the computer system would tell them to do. Like making something and putting it in the warehouse, and then having the forklift guy come and pick up the same product and take it down to be thrown away. No one was allowed to leave the grounds once they clocked in, too. There was apparently a cafeteria, but for some reason they couldn't use it. You had to take your break either in the building or in your car in the parking lot. There weren't any other buildings around for like 2 miles anyway, just farmland and long roads. This post was made as a response to a question from November 19th, 2015, asking, has anyone ever had any weird/paranormal/inexplicable things happen to them at work? I'm pretty much 99% sure I work in a haunted house now, so we'll post all my stories for you guys. Feel free to contribute if you have anything. December 19th, 2015, 19:30:15. Another anon posted a question. Did anyone here have any software or IT jobs on the East Coast between 2000 and 2010 or so? I ask because a few people I know from the time in area have talked about some sort of sketchy HR-related program called Erratas. I'm wondering if I can find any information about it. Not strictly paranormal related, but disturbing, and I believe I saw someone on X mention it before, so if that anon is here, please post. 20:22:38. Another anon replies. From what I understand, it was something that allowed some specific third-party company unconditional access to employee information. Employees who included it in search terms or asked about it would get fired or placed in non-computer departments. I believe UPS, Unilever, and Ecolab were part of the system. Unilever? I don't know. January 23rd, 2016, 18:36:43. Music board. Another anon. Replying to another post we needn't worry ourselves with. KFC Murder Chicks. Golden Age of Gross Mystery. Noise rock made out of Riot Girl and punk samples. And a link. A link to a channel by the name of Todd Ellsworth. On the surface, this has no connection to Erratas, unless you read what the description, which has since been removed completely to presumably cut off the mystery here, used to say. A really good Coma Records release that seems to have disappeared from the internet. Remember to support the artist, Erratas or Rusts. And before this, the description read, Erratas or Bust, at the end. This video was uploaded on November 21st, 2015, making this the first mention of Erratas online, predating the original 4chan post by 5 days. There seemingly also used to be a video on the Todd Ellsworth channel in what looks like some kind of warehouse with a forklift, a similar setup to that described in our first post. The video has since been deleted, with only one archive available on the Wayback Machine, which doesn't have the video saved, and there don't appear to be any re-uploads. January 25th, 2016, 18:53:01. Music board. New genre, Deep Internet. A subgenre of noise, found sounds and musique concrete. Super obscure, short and or low quality YouTube videos, eschewing traditional notions of musicality. Anything with more than 20 views is excluded by default. Then, a list of links to such videos. The first, an advert for an electronics shop from a channel for what appears to be an advertising agency which has posted their adverts frequently since February 11th, 2013 and continues to do so to this day. The third and fourth videos are unavailable. but the second, a video titled "YouTube is monitoring and controlling my life" from the channel Chronos for Life Jurassic Park, uploaded January 24th, 2016, the day before our last 4chan post. The video's text is frequently illegible, but using a combination of what isn't, this transcript, and general context, I have assembled a rough, complete transcript. I strongly believe that my mum was being monitored and harassed by YouTube Universal Pictures and their affiliates due to a secret of sorts she had discovered within the original trilogy of Jurassic Park films. Let me start by saying as early on as I can that I'm not crazy, never been diagnosed with schizophrenia, anxiety disorder, or any other mental illness. I'm just good at noticing patterns. I've always been a big Jurassic Park fan. I saw the first film in theatres when I was 5 years old, kicking off a lifelong love for the films which I've always shared with my mother. It is possible that YouTube's harassment campaign may have started with the removal of her various tribute videos to Jurassic Park after her passing, but those may also merely be the result of the churning of the vast machine that is the automatic copyright takedown system. As big of a fan of Jurassic Park as I am, though, I was never as deeply into the franchise as my mum was. She would watch the entire trilogy, this was before Jurassic World's release, on the last weekend of every month. She would buy Jurassic Park branded oatmeals and sugary cereals long after a doctor advised her to steer clear of those for her health. She would also spend a lot of her time editing together tribute videos on YouTube. Basically like those Linkin Park anime music videos, Sans anime. I started noticing their absences toward the end of 2015. Without access to a YouTube password, I could only re-upload the videos she's created on her old laptop. I've contacted YouTube many times regarding the videos, but have only received canned auto-responses and unhelpful yet sympathetic responses from the actual employees after pressing the matter. January 26th, 2016, which, if you're playing along at home, is the day after the last video. Another video by Chronos for Life. Here goes nothing. Sudden huge increase in views. I hope anyone reading this is good with computers. Can you help a dude out? Anyone with experience in the Erratas system, if you could send me a message, I'd be extremely grateful. I realise reaching out to my YouTube viewers is a stretch, but hey, I guess it's worth a shot, right? The description for this video reads, "This video is mainly to test to see if it gets deleted. First time really trying to see the limits of the Erratas algorithm. But the only thing really spooky about this is the captions. The automatic captions. The ones applied by a computer program, not Erratas, and can't be edited without losing their auto-generatedness. While they currently feature a poor interpretation of the background music's lyrics, they were originally far more mysterious and inexplicable. At 12 seconds, they read, "Are from over, 200 Corbin, Kentucky, 40219. At 52 seconds, 111, 111. At 1 minute 46 seconds, 10.3%, 10.4%, and at 2 minutes 17 seconds, overthrow the government." We'll come back to this. Another video on the Chronos for Life YouTube channel is Jurassic Park 3 Tribute Re-Upload, which, by the way, can't be viewed in the UK, which would make this a great transition into a NordVPN sponsorship like everyone else who's covered this seems to have, but never mind. This video was uploaded November 21st, 2015, 5 days prior to the first mention of Erratas on 4chan. At first, it seems to merely be one of the videos mentioned in our first video, a Jurassic Park 3 tribute compilation to the tune of R. Kelly's Ignition remix, because of course, what else? However, towards the end is a string of embedded Morse code. Now at this point I'm going to cheat and steal Blameitonjorge's edit so you can hear the code, because I don't know how to do that, I'll be honest. This code states the phrase Hollywood Astral Projection Clinic. January 27th, 2016. Chronos for Life uploaded another video in the usual style, answering questions. I've got a lot to go through, please be patient, thank you for writing. I've been fairly reluctant to really ask anyone for help since the nature of things like classic paranoid nutjob ramblings, algorithms controlling things behind the scenes, weird stuff in that vein. But I would never waste anyone's time with stuff like that. In the past couple of years, I've asked for help from friends in programming and business circles, but over time, friendships fade, people move, people stop talking to you, you know the drill. As such, I'm very grateful for the help people are giving, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can here. We needn't go through all the questions and answers in this video, so I'll just cover the key points. In response to questions about Erratas, and whether it works as an algorithm to delete content with reference to the program in it, Chronos claims to not know much about programming and computer systems, but knowing that Erratas is used by dozens of companies within the last 5 or 6 years. The system copyright enforcement tool, which works as an excellent if you want to take down other things as well. But I'm pretty sure it has its limitations, and I'm fairly sure that my test video helped to test those out. Maybe. The original Jurassic Park trilogy is excellent, by the way, I highly recommend it. Okay. Thanks. The second film is my favourite in spite of its flaws.
A sequel thrust forth from the loins of Steven Spielberg's mind. Jeff Goldblum!
So Erratas is supposedly used as a copyright system with potential to be used for other things, which makes sense, as it wouldn't if it solely existed to delete mentions of itself, and nothing else. Chronos goes on to mention that the system's targeting of his mother in her twilight years could potentially just be a coincidence. They later state Unilever, we're back to this again, and 3M to be early adopters of the scheme, showing its versatility. Too much faith is put into computers in general, and way too much faith was put into Erratas. Lots of people lost their jobs. We can now return to those automatic captions. The address 200 Corbin, Kentucky 40219 does not exist. Kentucky zip codes are 40701 through 40702. However, this address was listed as that of KFC Murdered Chicks and their DJ Roswell, one of whose songs was also uploaded to the Todd Ellsworth YouTube channel, along with a 666 Trap Slime remix of L7 Pretend We're Dead, which premiered just last year in December, and another, Gorillaz Clint Eastwood 666 Trap Slime remix, which we will come back to later, on their Bandcamp page, which makes some sense, as Corbin, Kentucky was the original location of the Kentucky Fried Chicken Food Company, bringing us back to where we started.
If you are Todd Ellsworth, or a relative, heir, or descendant of Todd Ellsworth, please immediately contact the bank to reclaim over $5,000 belonging to Todd Ellsworth. In 2005, the bank transferred over $5,000 belonging to Todd Ellsworth after the account had been inactive for 10 years. According to the Bank Act, banks have a legal obligation to send written notification after 2, 5, and 9 years of account inactivity. If the owner cannot be contacted by the bank, the balance is turned over.
If you recall, the first we saw of the KFC Murder Chicks band was on the Todd Ellsworth YouTube channel. Todd Ellsworth is an anagram of The Lost World, the title of the second film in the original Jurassic Park trilogy. Todd Ellsworth is also the name of the now private and on second looking, now deceased Twitter account, @Erratas or Rusts, which also supposedly used to read Erratas or Busts, just like our original KFC Murder Chicks video's description. The Twitter account was created on November 14th, 2015, 7 days before the KFC Murder Chicks upload on Todd's channel. Todd's first tweet on this account was the photo that has become iconic to the Erratas mystery, a police sketch of a 2005 Hawaiian serial rape suspect. This is where the Gorillaz 666 Trap Slime remix, which has since been taken down from the Todd Ellsworth channel, somewhat ironically due to copyright, becomes significant, as this is the other place the image of Breadstick James Charles was found. The description of the original upload said, "Classic track from his deleted SoundCloud. Whatever happened to Trap Slime anyway? He was just blowing up." This track does in fact originate from SoundCloud user Green Boots, Patrice Moss, one of the members of the KFC Murder Chicks. Back on Twitter, another post, and we're not talking artsy philosophical Tony tweets here, claimed that the deepest part of the deep web was under our noses the whole time. The postal service. So deep they're not even on the internet at all. Meanwhile, the KFC Murder Chicks explained their reluctance to send physical copies of their music due to not trusting a creepy postal service on their Tumblr page.
Coincidence? I think not!
Also on their page, users began to ask questions. What about the post office gives you the creeps? This is probably a controversial view, but there's a lot to suggest they're tied in with a lot of the government's more unsavoury activities. Spying, profiling, general disregard for constitutional rights, all that fun stuff. Lots of stuff sent to us, an inordinate amount really, has never made it, and vice versa. And we have another link back with the mention of UPS, one of the supposed users of the Erratas algorithm. What do you know about Erratas? Like Magic/Yu-Gi-Oh! Errata?
All these are worth... Oh, Will, why? No, you owe me 30 quid now.
We don't know what Erratas is. Please stop messaging us about it. It's getting weird. Hey, big fan of your music. Quick question though. You posted a link to your album Cortex Rampage. I got to give it a listen before it disappeared. And you mentioned a man named Todd Ellsworth. Who is he? Thanks. He's fine. Don't worry about it. Very random, but what's your favourite movie? I've always been a big fan of the Chronos movies. These are generally regarded as rip-offs of the Jurassic Park films, and other potential tie-in back to Chronos for life. One YouTuber involved in the mystery at the time was Xerb. They were continually covering the mystery as it unfolded and were known for works related to other similar internet mysteries, the only one of which to survive today being one around the Hecate station. I've probably pronounced that wrong. Which survives in the form of a re-upload, along with one Erratas video. However, in late May of 2016, just when they seemed to be making real progress with the mystery, Xer vanished. Their YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, all gone with no explanation. A few days prior to this, many people were also starting to believe that Exa was the one behind all of this themselves, based on a combination of there being basically the only YouTuber covering it, and one of the websites featured in a video of theirs containing a lost KFC Murder Chicks album. However, this was generally debunked. As I mentioned before, only one of Exa's YouTube videos on Erratas remains re-uploaded. Back on 4chan, some users were supposedly banned and their threads deleted for their discussing of Erratas. With this came the term errated to describe when someone or something was removed in this way. After and due to this, discussions around Erratas, KFC Murder Chicks, and even Exa began to decline, and the mystery was left to the back burner of internet history. DJ Roswell. The artist in the KFC Murder Chicks and that other song on the Todd Ellsworth channel posted to the 4chan music board back on July 30th, 2014, long before any of this started, talking about starting a noise rock band called the KFC Torture Chicks. Later, on November 8th, 2014, Roswell started a thread talking about the at-the-time infamous children's toy wand featuring a disturbing photo that you've probably heard of or seen somewhere or other before.
He thinks it's okay for older kids.
For a 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, I mean, they see that on TV every day.
This is big brain time.
And what did we see as the photo alongside the Anon's deep internet proposal post? One of that toy. Oh, also,